Welcome to the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Hello and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So we have a lot of interesting royal tea to get through today. So sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So there has been a lot of talk lately about Harry and Meghan and their projects, specifically their Netflix series and of course the memoir for Prince Harry. A lot of back and forth. Will they, won't they, are they not? Are they editing it? Do they feel bad? Are they taking parts of the book out? Are they adding parts of the book in? And I'm kind of on the fence. You know, part of me believes that they're trying to take out some of the stuff that they said about the royal family to kind of soften the blow. But the other part of me is like, no, they're adding to the book. They're adding the funeral. They're adding the platinum jubilee. They have to add in all of this stuff because, y'all, they have to sell it. They are selling their souls for $1 bill because they have nothing left. This docuseries is going to be, in my opinion, extremely dangerous for the royal family. It's going to be the Oprah Winfrey interview on steroids. You know, there are still a lot of people, especially in America, who believe the narrative that Harry and Meghan are innocent victims and the royal family are, quote, evil racists who were horrible to Princess Meghan, and they had to flee for their safety from the evil royal family and the people of the UK who wish to harm them. People literally believe that narrative. I mean, they got the Lifetime movie to prove it. Harry and Meghan escaping the palace. People think that's real. So now, with this docuseries, they're going to, quote, set the record straight and tell their side of the story, their version of the truth. Well, the Oprah Winfrey interview, I thought they were already kind of sharing their side of the story and telling their version of the truth. However, their version of the truth didn't quite match up with everyone else's version of the truth and, quite frankly, facts. So everyone has pretty much dispelled quite a bit about the Oprah Winfrey interview. It's so bad they buried it. You can't even find it. If you paid someone, you can't find the whole episode unless it's on the dark web somewhere. It's gone. It's gone. It went bye-bye. It vanished. Oprah Winfrey has wiped her hands of that interview, the one she's just so proud of, her best work. Well, if it's your best work, where is it? Why did you bury it? Right? Don't you put that stuff out on display? Aren't you going to sell it as a DVD on Netflix or something? Nope. They buried it. It is gone. There's no traces of the full interview of Harry and Meghan on Oprah because it was so bad and full of inconsistencies and untruths. So now they're going to do a whole docuseries where they're once again going to tell their side of the story. You know, these people 2.5 years after Megxit still want to set the story straight. It's like nobody cares. Nobody cares, but they do. You know, they're like a dog with a bone. They won't let it go. So in my opinion, this docuseries is going to be very, very dangerous because they're desperate. When someone gets desperate, they become dangerous. And in my opinion, the Duke and Duchess of Deceit, they need that money, honey. Okay? They have sold their soul. They have signed that dotted line. Netflix and Spotify and Penguin Random House, they want that pound of flesh. They're not paying the big bucks to look at little Archie going to a palm tree and saying, Mama, Papa, Mama. No one cares about this love story that Meghan is trying to tell us that they have. Again, if you have to constantly remind people and tell people how happy you are and how in love you are, you're not in love. You know what I mean? It's like everyone's forgot to tell Harry that he's happy because his face sure as hell doesn't think so. I'm sorry, but that man doesn't look happy to me, but that's my opinion. You look at William and Catherine, they don't have to force public, PDA and say, look at us, we're so happy, we're so in love, we're just the peanut butter and jelly of the Cambridges, the Prince and Princess of Wales. Catherine doesn't claw her husband, she doesn't push her husband. They work together in sync as a couple. They're a unit, they are a team. Just like Charles and Camilla, they are very much a team. They've been together for a long time. They've gone through several ups and downs, but they have a solid relationship, love, and respect for one another. Then you have Harry and Meghan, who quite frankly were two people who didn't really know each other. You had an actress who was putting on the act of being the carefree bohemian California girl. Oh, I'm just fine, Harry. Don't worry about me, Harry. Everything's fine. I go with the flow. I like to eat avocado toast and do warrior poses. I like these cheap little African bracelets that you gave me. Kumbaya. Kumbaya. Let's go do charity work. Have you seen her wearing those African bracelets since? Honey, she burned that shit. It's in the trash, okay? This woman wears Tiffany's and Cartier. You never see her without that little blood diamond pinky ring. This woman is decked to the hills with very expensive clothing and jewelry. Not like the woman he was dating, who was just real happy to be there. Just happy to hang out in the cottage and cook chicken and wear the little African bracelets. Kumbaya, let's go do charity. Let's save the kids. Let's go adopt a dog. I'm that girl. No, she's not. That was a fake version. That was an act. He fell in love with an actress. In my opinion, he barely saw her on the weekends for the first year. They weren't around each other. Kate and William were together for 8 years. They knew each other, okay? So now Harry got the little switcheroo when she got the ring on her finger. As we said a million times, he went to bed with Snow White and woke up with Cruella de Vil. She switched it, okay? But he was too far in. He was way too dependent on Mummy 2.0. It was done. Her name was on the tea towels. It's over. You know what I mean? And the whole royal family was upset. I mean, it's a red flag when your future bride has no friends past 2013 and you don't get to meet any of her family. Red flag! Red flag! I mean, hi, is that not weird to anybody? I say it is, but I digress. So now you have Harry and Meghan, they're coming out with this docuseries where they're going to show people their everyday life with their children, Archie and Lilybucks. Yes, they're going to parade their children around for the cameras, much like they said they weren't going to do. But of course, now that Netflix is paying them, well, here they are. Here's Archie and Lily. There's even talk that you're going to see Lily and Meghan in her little garden. I think it's called Lily's Bunny Garden, where they're making their little vegetables and canning them with homemade labels, because we know Meghan just loves to get her hands dirty, doesn't she? Doesn't she look like that type of woman who just loves arts and crafts and Play-Doh and all that stuff all over her white house with her white cushions? Yeah, nah. That I don't buy it, but whatever. She's that kind of mom, hands-on. Even though you never see her with her kids, never brings her kids anywhere, she doesn't give me the warm and fuzzy vibe. I'm sorry. It just doesn't give me maternal instincts in my opinion, but I digress. So now this docuseries, what they were planning to do originally was they were going to do a huge media blitz. 2022 was going to be their year of visibility. They were going to come out the gate with Meghan's podcast, and then all those public appearances and those speeches and all those fake awards that they were purchasing. Then Harry was going to have his memoir. Then they were going to end it with the docuseries. And then in 2023, they were going to do the year of reconciliation. They were going to let the royal family apologize to them and make up with them. They were going to be the bigger people and say, "We forgive you. And now let's move on, and we're going to come back as part-time royals, and then it's going to be double rainbow in the sky, and the people are going to dance in the street, much like they did when Nelson Mandela was freed from prison for Princess Meghan. The end. That's literally Meghan's little fairy tale that she was spinning that she thought was going to happen for her and Harry. Well, unfortunately, Her Majesty passed away and kind of put a little chink in their plan. So now all those media blitz, you know, the TV show, her appearing on that magazine, the other award show that she was going to get, you know, it couldn't happen because the Queen passed away, right? Kind of ruined it for them. Now they're backtracking because they don't know what to do with that memoir, because now they realize the people are behind King Charles and Camilla, who may or may not be getting a very bad rap in his upcoming memoir. So it's kind of a bad look, right, that the son who self-exiled himself with his wife, who's quite frankly not well-liked or popular, is now, you know, crapping on the new king so closely after Her Majesty passed. People aren't going to take kindly to that, especially since those same people who he has degraded and told the world they're evil, racist people, and my wife, they're going to kill my wife like they did my mummy, that I need police protection and I'm going to sue for it with 2 lawsuits. How nice and gracious and kind those same people were when they went down for the Queen's funeral, how respectful and how open and warm crowds of people were to him and his wife, who were not kind to them. So if he goes and then trashes that in his book, it's not going to work out well for him. There's only so much people can take, and people have embraced King Charles, I have to be honest, better than I thought they would. People stood behind the royals out of respect for Her Majesty. People do have love for the royals, especially Charles and Camilla, and of course, William and Kate. So I think Harry and Meghan might have saw that firsthand, like, oh, we need to backtrack all those horrible things we're going to say about Camilla, because let me tell you something. Charles loves his wife. That's his woman. Whether you like it or not, that is his boo. That is his, you know, right-hand person. And he has made it very clear on several occasions, my darling wife and I, that he literally cannot be king without his wife. So if you're going to go stepping on his wife, I think, Harry, that's going to be the final straw for your father, because as a parent, you love your children, but there's limits. There gets to a certain point where you got to say, I love you from afar. And he even said that in his speech. We love you on your quest for, you know, financial freedom on the other side of the pond. We send you love. But don't you dare come over here and be disrespecting my darling wife, because if you do, we're going to have a problem, son. Okay, and I think Harry realizes that. But again, he's got to sell books. He's got to make it interesting. And the only thing interesting about him is his narrative painting gossip against his family. That's what they're paying him the $20 million for. No one cares about his kumbaya mental health and his job at Better Up and how Meghan saved him. As a matter of fact, they made him rewrite the book because it was too much focused on that mental health bullcrap that nobody wants to hear. So they're like, we didn't pay you for your mental health tips, we paid you for the gossip. So he had to go back and put in some real stuff. And I think now, you know, he's kind of nervous about it, but at the same time, they also had to add more stuff like the Platinum Jubilee and now Her Majesty's funeral. They have to add all of that in because it wouldn't make sense to not have that in the book, because that's a huge major event. The death of Her Majesty, that's a big event. So I believe they're really putting stuff in, not necessarily taking stuff out. So it could be they're taking out a little bit, but they're definitely putting in the funeral. So now the rumor is that they were originally planning to have the memoir, the docuseries. They wanted it all to be around The Crown, because you got to remember Netflix has The Crown coming out in November. And they wanted to have the docuseries in December, and they wanted to have the book also in November. I mean, it was going to be like a double whammy. So the rumor is that they're still pushing for a December release of this docuseries, and that his memoir is going to come out in 2023. So Netflix is going to have The Crown, which is coming out in November, and let me tell you, that's got some juicy stuff in it. It's going to talk about the marriage of, you know, Princess Diana and King Charles, and of course Camilla. And they're also going to have another story about Prince Philip and his friendship with Penny Knatchbull. That's another story in itself. So the fact that Harry is still working with this company who has produced a musical which was not very flattering toward his mother called Diana. They're now producing, I believe, the 5th season of The Crown, which is coming out with a very controversial storyline right when his father is now starting his reign as king. And then he's going to do the docuseries, again, talking about his family drama in December. So I don't see how he thinks they're going to have a year of reconciliation. You know what I mean? Like, what is this guy smoking? What is he thinking? Because again, I think it's getting to the point where the family, they're putting them in a very, very bad spot. And I think it's very, very unkind to do this. It's almost blackmail, what they're doing to the royal family. It's they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. So if Charles and them decide, hey, we're sick of you, we don't trust you anymore, you slammed me and my wife in your book, then you did that docuseries, we don't trust you anymore, we're just going to have to push you from afar. If they don't invite him to the coronation, if they don't show any kindness to them, then people are going to say, see, you're racist, you're a horrible family. But then on the other hand, if they become weak and say, okay, we're going to give you everything you want, we're going to let you come back as part-time royals, we're going to bring you into the royal fold, we're going to give your kids titles, a lot of people are going to be very upset, including me, because it's going to seem like you're letting them crap on you and now that you're taking them back. We don't want them back. Like when I saw the 4 of them on that walkabout, I was pissed. I don't want to see Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan have no right, in my opinion, to be there after everything they have done. But William and Catherine were gracious. They did the walkabout with them, but it was very awkward. Okay, they just looked out of place. They looked like fish out of water. So I think this docuseries and this book is going to cause a huge problem, and it's going to be like the Oprah Winfrey interview on steroids. So if these two think they're going to now reconcile with the royal family, because in my opinion, they're doing a money grab. They're just going bang for the buck. Let's just hit them with the book, with Spotify, with the Netflix series. Let's just close out all of these deals. Let's just get our money, and then we're going to run back to Daddy and say, we're sorry, let's kiss and make up, and then we're going to be the part-time royals that we've always wanted to be. And we're going to pick and choose what we're going to do. And hey, maybe you'll pay Meghan to walk around and shake some hands and kiss babies while we live in Monteshitshow. And Daddy picks up the bill for our security. That's their wet dream right there. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think they've overplayed their hand, and they've bitten the hand that feeds them a little too hard. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think that Netflix is going to release the docuseries in December right after The Crown? Do you think that they're adding in a whole bunch of stuff, especially since the Queen has passed? And do you believe there's going to be a year of reconciliation and that the royal family would be open to accepting any kind of reconciliation with these Sussexes? As always, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Please make sure you check me out on all of my other social media accounts, and I will see you in the next video.